So now you know, how do I grow muscle? You have to fatigue it. Second question is, what equipment do I use? Here's the short answer. It doesn't matter. You can use balls, bells, bands, board. My favorite, use your body weight. Hey, welcome. This is Coach Teresa. Welcome to Pura Vida. Hey, so for some time now, Dr. CJ has been sharing some amazing topics in her 12 core concepts. So today I'm taking over number 6, which is true body. Well, part of 6 anyway. So I am a national certified trainer. Been doing that for about 17 years. So I just want to give you a little background so you understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. So not only do I have the knowledge as an athlete, bodybuilding, marathon, half marathon running, just general sports, basketball, volleyball, all that. And then to put my training on that. And then people I follow in the science. And in my training, I worked with Parkinson's people with balance, worked with strength trainers, marathon runners, kids, just. So what today is a culmination of my experience and the science that has brought me to today. So what we're talking about today, number 6 under true body, is how to grow muscle. What's the science? What's real? What I want you to also have an appreciation for is so many of the topics that Dr. CJ is sharing with you overlay. And I'm going to talk about that regarding muscle. So just know that everything is not its own separate entity. They're all connected. So 3 points. I'm going to leave you with 3 helpful hints what to remember about growing a muscle. Now, growing a muscle, I want you to understand, is about fatiguing the muscle. That's the only way to do it. I know you hear about HIIT and double stacking and whether you're doing Tabata, whatever. If the goal is to gain strength, everybody's doing the same thing. They are fatiguing the muscle. So let's see what that looks like. So if I have my water bottle here and I said, okay, can I gain muscle by holding this water bottle? It's about 12 ounces. Well, yeah, if I lift it up to 5, 10 times, no. But what would happen if I held it out for 2 hours? What if I had a dumbbell here that was 20 pounds and I'm on number 6? What if I had a band and I was holding posture for a minute? What would happen to my muscles? For those of you that do a plank for a minute, 2 minutes, and your arms start shaking, if you're holding weight out and your arms start shaking, if you're lifting dumbbells and your arms start shaking, you are fatiguing the muscles. When you fatigue the muscles, that's the only way it can grow. So let me take you through the science. When you have properly warmed up a muscle, and then you're taking it to fatigue, so you're on set 3 or something like that, and you're like, oh, I'm doing 15 pounds, this is really tough, or I'm holding this weight out, and I'm going on 2 minutes now. And when you start to shake, this is what happens. So the muscles kind of look like my fingers, like long strands of spaghetti. And just like an old rubber band that has been overused, when you put force on a muscle, it's creating all kind of tension. And then what happens as a part of strength training, the microfills have micro tears, and this is a good thing. So it goes boing, 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 like that. That's the feeling when you think, oh my God, I can't hold this bag of groceries or my baby or this weight any longer. That is called failure. And that's a beautiful thing. So once the muscle is totally broken down and you're like, I just can't lift my car keys, then you have fatigued the muscle. So now, after that, what do we do? So now you know, how do I grow muscle? You have to fatigue it. Second question is, what equipment do I use? Here's the short answer. It doesn't matter. You can use balls, bells, bands, board. My favorite, use your body weight. It doesn't matter if I'm doing crunches on a ball Or if I'm doing planks for 2, maybe 3 minutes, I'm going to shake. And so when you shake, the muscles that you're engaging are fatiguing. When they fatigue and they break down, now you're ripe for some strength training. So it really doesn't matter. But let me tell you, after almost 20 years of personal training, I will tell you, if you do the same thing every week, you are not going to get near the benefit as if you vary your workout. So sometimes use free weights, sometimes use bands, sometimes just go out for a walk. Sometimes you might want to do yoga. Sometimes you might want to do like a circuit class or whatever, but change it up. So the equipment doesn't mean near as much as knowing how to use it. And let me pause here for a minute. I wouldn't go across country without my GPS. I wouldn't hire a plumber without recommendations. So what I want you to do is to learn how to have good form. I want you to hire a personal trainer or hire somebody that does their own strength trainer that just seems like a real stickler for form. Because when you practice something with good form, then you have developed a confidence that says, I know what I'm doing, I know why I'm doing it, and I have tools around me to help me make sure that my form is really good. So now we know, how do you grow a muscle? You have to fatigue it. 2, what equipment do I need? We understand you can use almost anything, but learn how to use it, have good form. So the third thing is just as important as the others, but I think we don't talk about it near as much. How do I take care of my muscle? So there are also 3 things that I want you to think about taking care of a muscle. And it's going to sound like a few things that Dr. CJ's been saying. Number 1, you need to feed the muscle. So imagine this muscle that you've just asked to work so hard, and it's just bing, 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 all just broken down, and it's just raw, it's ready. It needs to be fed, and it needs some type of protein within an hour. Now, some of you go plant-based, some of you go animal. Go for your protein. There's a lot of good science both ways. And let me tell you, if you're plant-based, that's fine. Just do your research. So feed your body within an hour. And on strength training days, know that the most updated science is on those days where you're strength training and breaking down, you really want to up your protein. Again, talk to a registered dietitian or a personal trainer about how much protein is right for you, but it's a fair amount. And again, plant-based, animal, a little bit of both, that's fine. The second thing is hydrate. Now, if you've been listening to Dr. CJ long enough, you know just plain water is not going to cut it. We are grossly under-mineralized here in the United States because of commercial farming. And even if you do organic, we still don't have all the minerals, especially, that we need to stay hydrated. So the combinations to look for are the potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium. When you drink water, it needs minerals to help penetrate the cells. So now you have all these muscles that worked really hard for you, and you want to be able to get water to them to not only hydrate the muscle, but to help the muscle get rid of waste. So after you feed your muscle, you hydrate your muscle, then the third most important thing is rest and recovery. Rest. Let me tell you 2 things about rest, and it may illuminate some things you've seen at the gym. So when I'm working out at the gym, if I choose to, and again, it doesn't matter whether I'm by myself doing bands or whatever, but I'm just using the gym as an example. When I'm doing 3 sets, let's say a bicep curl, and whether I'm on a machine or dumbbells, I'm going to do my 10 to rep, and then I'm going to rest. Only about 30 seconds, but I need to rest. Now, if I'm working a bigger muscle like the quadriceps or glutes, I might wait 1, maybe 2 minutes in between sets. So you may have noticed this at the gym. Someone's on a machine, they're doing 12, and then they just sit there. They just sit there. until they're saying, and you think, oh my gosh, so many people could get on that machine. They're resting. They were trained properly. So what I do when I'm in a gym and I need that machine and I see someone's just finished their first rep and they're resting, I say, hey, can I work my sets in between you? They understand what that means. They have to rest anyway. They're just hanging out there. So I can do a set, they can do a set. So rest. So when you're doing a set of 3, some of you do 5. If you're doing a set of 3, lift the weight, rest. About 30 seconds for smaller muscles, 1 to 2 minutes for larger muscles. Do your second set, rest. When you get to your third set, the hope is that you have warmed up a muscle enough that when you go for your third set and you're going for, oh, I really want to break down that muscle, it's warmed up so you're safe and you have the right amount of weight to fatigue it. So you're not having to go 30 times. Maybe you can fatigue it in 12 or so. So when you rest, you give the body a chance to, redistribute blood, get rid of some waste and so forth. But here's the second thing about resting that I think we don't think about very much. What would you say if I did a full body workout today, fully fatigue my muscles? It would probably take me about 3 hours. But anyway, how long should you rest before you hit that muscle group again? Well, science tells us one of the best thing is 48 hours. So don't hit that for 2 full days. So if today's Monday, do not work that same muscle on Tuesday. You can hit it again Wednesday. And there's some science too, depending on what type, how intense, that 72 hours is also wonderful. So what does that look like if you're available to work out 4 times a week? Well, maybe you break it up. Maybe you say chest and shoulders this day, legs and abs this day, and then you come back to chest and shoulders and legs and abs. So you break it up if you have several days. But again, that's your opportunity to talk to your personal trainer based on the number of days you're available to work out to how often should I hit that muscle. So rest is just huge. And again, if you're that person that's working out 6 days a week and you tend to be hitting the same muscles, you're going to have fatigue. You're going to have injury. Don't do it. Don't do it. So again, see a personal trainer. And what dovetails into rest so well is recovery. Recovery can mean a lot of things. Recovery can mean ice baths. It can be hot and cold treatments. It can be massage. It can be acupuncture. It can be cupping. There are a lot of things that professional athletes spend a lot of money on after a good workout so that they recover faster, recover more fully, and can then hit their next workout ready to go. So recovery and rest. So big high level, but I wanted to leave you with today. When you're strength training, how do you grow a muscle? You got to fatigue it. Some people call that going to failure. You, as far as what equipment you use, as long as you're well trained and you have variety, really doesn't matter. Just have some variety. And how do I take care of my muscle? I got to feed it within an hour, protein. I have to hydrate, mineralized hydrating, and then I need to rest and recover. If you can hold on to those 3 ideas, you're going to be really good. Now, let me just segue just a wee bit. We've talked about how do you grow a muscle. Let's say you're that person that says, I love my muscle. I feel good. I'm balanced. I just want to keep everything fresh. Well, as long as you don't go to full fatigue, you can do the same workout 2 days in a row. And then give yourself the 3rd day off or something. Because you do need rest. But as long as you're not taking it to fatigue, you can keep hitting that muscle. So again, talk to your personal trainer, really understand. And I think that's the whole point of why we do these talks is Dr. CJ and I feel very strongly that, everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs to learn things. I learn things all the time. It never stops. But our goal is for you to really take an interest in your body. And when we teach you, Well, now we've taught you how to fish. Now you can do this on your own. And the more things you learn to do on your own, and the more things you learn about your body, the more capable you're going to be. So what I'd like to wrap up is tomorrow, we're going to continue this idea of rest and recovery. We're going to talk about stretching and flexibility. What does it mean to stretch? How long? What do I stretch? When do I stretch? And what does flexibility really mean? So it has been my complete honor to come to you and share some of my expertise and be a part of a wonderful education that Dr. CJ has presented us. So if this has been a lot, just hit it again. Listen to it as much as you can. And if it has piqued your interest to go forward, to hire that personal trainer, to shake up your workout, to understand what fully fatiguing a muscle is, then I have done my work here. It has been my complete honor. I am Coach Teresa Robinson, and this has been number 6 under True Body at Pura Vida.